Okay, so
All right, Shalom. First off, we give all praise, honor, and glory
unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash.
We want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have taught us this word and teach us this word today. And we want to give a salutations unto the elect across the four corners of this earth, the brothers pushing this word in truth and sincerity, the men, women, and children listening and learning, striving for salvation. You know, this is GMS Nebraska Watchman. You know, this is the brother Yata Zakba.
Brother Kratazai.
you call them off.
Khan, and what we want to get into is the least of the flock, drawing them out. You know, speaking about Israel. You know, we should we grab that precept or just get
Yeah, that's cool.
Khan.
This is Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20. It says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Edom,
Now, Edom is the so-called white man.
and for his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman."
Mm-hmm. Teman is one of the sons of Esau.
"Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Mm-hmm.
Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them."
Now it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock is talking about the Amalekites, which is one of the sons of Esau. Now the Amalekites, what they have done, they've taken our identity as the Israelites, and they're in that land today, perpetuating themselves to be us. You know, that's why brothers will call them the Jewish people. Called Benjamin Netanyahu, Benjamin Nabiju, you know, things like this, because they've stolen our identity. You know, as a matter of fact, the brother is about to grab the scripture here about that.
Right, and this is Zechariah chapter 9 verse 6. It says, "And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines."
Right, that bastard is talking about Esau, you know, because Jacob and Esau both came out of the loins of Isaac, but Jacob was chosen. Esau was put aside, as the scriptures say, as the Lord said in Romans chapter 9. You know, for Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. You know, so Esau is that bastard in the Lord's eyes. You know, and you see here, Ashdod is that land of Israel. You know, come.
So,
All right, what else?
Is that was
that was it on that.
Con. So here, you know, we're just going to get into some articles, get into some different things showing how that prophecy of the least of the flock drawing them out is brewing. You know, Israel, through Israel's actions, all the armies of the world, these nations are going to be drawn to this region to fight in war. You know, so we're just going to get right into it, and I'll start off with this article here, speaking about the.
I got to read for you.
Oh, okay, come on.
You start from the top.
Nah. So let me see. You can start this paragraph here. So this is the United States support for Israel and the Israel-Hamas war from the Wikipedia.
So this is from the Wikipedia. It says, after an initial period of Western support for the offensive, Israel and the United States became increasingly isolated amid growing worldwide calls for a ceasefire.
Right. So through the time of this war, you know, globally, you know, different nations were calling for a ceasefire, you know, but what does it say?
With the U.S. vetoing 3 United Nations Security Council resolutions calling for a humanitarian ceasefire.
So the United States, the United Nations on multiple occasions put in bids for a ceasefire, you know, through the months of this war, but time and time again the U.S. would veto it. They would shoot the ceasefire down, and the Lord has the spirit on, you know, the American leaders, that through Israel's actions on coming against the people in Gaza, you know, murdering thousands of civilians. Although Israel is doing all these war crimes, the U.S. is still supporting them and sending them billions of dollars.
Yeah,
that's a spirit that the Lord has put on them. You know, here it's just like we can read the rest of that.
It says international rights groups have condemned the U.S. for providing military and diplomatic support to Israel that they say risks complicity in Israeli war crimes.
Right, and America is 100% complicit in war crimes, where Israel bombing hospitals, schools, just doing civilians dirty.
Yeah.
You know, and America has a big part to blame in this. You know, because they've basically added fuel to the fire. You know,
says by March 7th, 2024. The U.S. has sent Israel over 100 weapons shipments since the war began.
Right. So this is back in March, and we know, of course, we're in December, going into January of 2025. You know, but right now they're speaking on, a ceasefire agreement that's actually holding up for the time being. You know, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that in 1 second. So here, let me just go down to this right here. And let me see. Salakia, 1 second.
And the thing is, if I may, while the brother's getting what he's getting, is while they're so-called calling for a ceasefire, at the end of the day, the prophecy of Yahweh Shem Yahushai has to come to pass, which is what? These nations, Israel specifically, drawing America into this conflict. So regardless of this so-called ceasefire that they're speaking of, that's not going to, even if they were to be successful with the ceasefire, the Lord's word is going to be done. So that means they're going to go to war.
Can I grab this precept? This is Isaiah chapter 55, verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please.
Right. And the first precept that the brother brought out in Jeremiah 49, what it says, the least of the flock shall draw them out. So that's going to come to pass. That hasn't come to pass yet, but we see it brewing. Okay. And this is, the Lord said it's not going to come back void. So regardless of what the media may say, what the presidents might say, the Lord got the final say so on this whole ordeal, man.
Right. And we led out with showing the United States support for Israel, because that's a huge aspect of the least of the flock drawing out the rest of these nations for war. This is the aspect where America is being drawn out, to where even though the whole world is accusing America of being complicit in war crimes, America has all these problems at home, yet they're not spending money here. They're putting that money into Israel and to all these other places. That's the Lord working on them so that prophecy can come to pass. You know, you want to bring this?
It says from Google, why does America support Israel? It says there are many reasons for the United States to support Israel. Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. It has been a partner of the U.S. security and intelligence efforts for decades. Almost as many Jews live in the U.S. as in Israel, so personal connections are plentiful.
Right, and when Israel was first declared as a state, I believe the U.S. was the first nation to recognize them as a state.
Yeah, I actually had that. If you just want to
mention, go ahead.
So this is just speaking off what the brother was saying. I typed in Google America's relationship with Israel, and it says the United States, it says the United States was the first country to recognize the nascent state of Israel on May 14th, 1948. Since the 1960s, the Israel-U.S. relationship has grown into a mutually beneficial alliance in economic, strategic, and military aspects.
Right, and the U.S. Well, I'll rather you speak on it, brother. You were speaking on it before the lesson.
We'll get this on top of it. It says, in turn, Israel provides a strategic American foothold in the region, as well as intelligence and advanced technological partnerships, both in both civilian and military worlds. So, they've been had partnerships, and like I said, that it's a strategic foothold in the region. They're the only democracy in the Middle East. So if you want to go against Iran, if you want to, go against Iraq, which clearly they did, because they did the the war. After 9/11, they went into Iraq and they went into Afghanistan. These, those were footholds that are no longer here. So they have to hold on to Israel. It's their only way to be in the region. All right, we know that they're trying to encompass Russia. They're trying to encompass China. Well, the third leg of the triangle is Iran. So you have to get somewhere close to them. And we know that Israel and Iran are enemies. So guess what? The enemy of my enemy is
my friend.
exactly. Not only that, they've been supporting them from day one, strategically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this ain't nothing new.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, there's these ceasefire efforts that's going on right now, but that doesn't mean that this prophecy isn't going to come to pass. We just have to be patient, because in due time, the Lord is going to have it to develop in the way that it's supposed to. Speaking about the American support for Israel a little bit more, America was acting like they were going to pull back from supporting Israel, sending them aid, weapons, money, as long as Israel sent support to Gaza, which Israel said that they did. But you have relief groups saying that Gaza is in a worse state at this point in November than they have been in the entire war.
Right.
So you're sending aid. Okay, you're sending aid. You're saying, hey, look, America, we're doing what you asked us to do. Yet they're in a worse state than ever before. How much aid are you really sending them? You have the supplies to do it.
Somebody lying.
God.
You about to
Go ahead.
If you don't mind, kind of get into.
You good, bro.
So I want to get a little bit off of this article from it's from the European Council of Foreign Relations, and this is as of dated of November 13, 2024, right? And I want to read briefly through this paragraph, and it kind of gives a background to what the brother was saying as well. It says it says Donald Trump will start his second presidency facing a devastated Middle East. Catastrophic wars in Gaza and Lebanon between Israel and Iranian-backed groups risk provoking a wider conflict between Israel and Iran even before Trump takes office in January, right? So this is the point. It says over the past year, Israel and Iran have engaged in 2 unprecedented rounds of direct military attacks against another. They are now braced for a 3rd round of strikes, right? So this is going into this. This is just showing the escalation of this thing.
No,
Okay, kind of got me. So it's just showing. That's just a point right there, showing that this thing is inevitably going to escalate. Damn.
Yeah, because like we was mentioning, we talked about America being drawn out, but Iran is going to be drawn out as well, and through what this brother was just bringing out is showing that, there's tensions rising with Iran being involved in this war. You know, that's the least of the flock, drawing out these other nations, their militaries,
It says they are now braced for a 3rd round of strikes, with Tehran promising a teeth-breaking response to Israel's October 26 strikes on Iranian military sites, while Trump's victory has given some pause to both sides regarding their next move. Israel and Iran will likely try to establish an advantage on the ground before his presidency.
Right. So this is showing this isn't over. This ceasefire, you can look at this as a pause in the action, for lack of better words.
Like the eye of a storm.
That's all it is.
Right.
That's all it is. It's a pause in the action. More is to come.
Facts.
You got more than that?
Yeah, just a little bit. It says, in doing so, they risk overreaching and plunging the region into further war. While the incoming president, Trump, has vowed to bring peace to the region and to extract the U.S. from military entanglements, a full-blown war between Iran and Israel can draw American troops into a direct confrontation.
Right, and Trump is saying he's going to bring peace to the region. All these promises that he's given, but he's a politician at the end of the day. And we know these people say what they need to say so that they can win these elections, so that they can look good to the people. How is he going to bring peace to the region?
Hey, well, as I said, they should say peace and safety, because that's what's being pushed. But at the same time, like we mentioned before the camera came on, as well, when the camera came on, the Most High is working on the hearts of these leaders.
We got it right here. This is Proverbs 21:1. It says, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water."
Right, and the kings are speaking about these leaders of these different countries. You know, your Trumps, your Netanyahu's, your Putin's, so on and so forth. The Most High is working on the hearts of these kings. You got it?
As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever so he will.
Right. So even if they wanted to do a peace treaty or they wanted to back off, the Most High he gonna put it in their hearts to go at it.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't matter what they want to personally do. They're gonna the will of heaven, like Isaiah 55. His will is gonna be fulfilled.
Right. And that's a beautiful point, because the way I like to look at it, Israel is that little brother that's like out of control. You know, Israel is that crash out little brother, and the U.S. is that older brother that always got to fight his battles because he want to crash out. So, you know, just because Israel and Iran aren't at war right now, don't mean Israel ain't gonna feel played here in a month or so and go and shoot missiles on them. That's what happened earlier this year. Matter of fact, is that it on that article?
That's
okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So let's transfer over here. Baba Shaka, you
from the top.
Yeah.
Just the 2024 Iran-Israel conflict from Wikipedia. It says in 2024, the Iran-Israel proxy conflict escalated to a series of direct confrontations between the two countries.
Yeah, so this is going over, you know, what happened in 2024 with these two countries, at least the start of it. Go ahead.
On the 1st of April, Israel bombed an Iranian consulate complex in Damascus, Syria, killing multiple senior Iranian officials.
Israel started it. You know, it's the Iran and Israel proxy conflict, but guess who started? Somebody has to throw the first stone. All right, and Israel threw the first stone. Go ahead.
In response, Iran and its axis of resistance allies seized the Israeli-linked ship MSC Ares and launched strikes inside Israel on the 13th of April.
Right. So can you blame them? If you kill senior officials, that's worthy of a war. And that alone. Okay. If somebody sent or blew up an American building in America, and American senators died, they would be going to war.
Mm-hmm.
They would be going to war just like it was 9/11.
Well, it's the same thing with the October 7th situation, because Israel was pushing the Israelis was pushing them Palestinians out for years. That was them retaliating for years of history already, and they made it seem like they was victims.
Exactly. You know? That Israel will always play the victim. Oh, you know, 3 million Jews. You know. But you know, the whole time they're the little brother crash out, who's ready to just start some mess. Go ahead.
So it says Israel then carried out retaliatory strikes in Iran and Syria on the 19th of April. The Israeli strikes were limited, and analysts say they signaled a desire to de-escalate.
Right, because really they could have been a lot more devastating, but because they got through, they know we got you. You know, Israel has that Iron Dome. You know, and they also had America using a lot of its resources to so-called block all these strikes, which a lot of them got through. And if they wanted to, more could have got through. So really, it's like we got your number anytime we want it. You know, if we want to send a nuke over there, we got your number. And Israel knows that. You know, it's like you can front for the world, but you can't front for me kind of deal. Like, you know, me and you got into a fight, and me and you know that, you know, you snuck me, but when I hit you, all the breath in your chest, deflated.
Yeah.
But because they restrained me,
Yeah, they broke the fight up. Yeah.
now you can say that you got one off on me. But we both know, and I know that if I hit you again, it's gonna be devastating to you.
He said they're doing it for the gram.
That's exactly what is going on, bro. They're doing it for the gram. All right, and as the brother was going into, it's really a good time, so to speak, for Israel to pump it back up. And we see where Israel's at war day 453. So Baba Shah.
So this is from the Times of Israel.com. As Iran's network of proxies withers, Israel has an opening to revive its own.
Right. So we're not going to get all into this article, but it speaks about Baba Shah.
Israeli leaders have been boasting effusively about the country's success in degrading Iran's proxies in recent months. We knocked down Hezbollah, which was supposed to protect Iran, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said earlier this month. And Iran didn't protect Hezbollah either, and neither of them protected Syria's Bashar al-Assad. We just split the whole axis right down the middle, he said. Iran spent probably $30 billion in Syria, another $20 billion in Lebanon. God knows how much on Hamas, and it's all going down the tubes.
Right. So what they're saying is, because they took out Hezbollah, they took out Bashar al-Assad, they took out Hamas, all these little the little brothers of Iran, so to speak. Well, it's just leaving Iran open for the taking, so to speak. But like I said, Iran has that trump card, no pun intended. That if I decide to hit you, I can hit you. So hey, this is the Lord is really working on the minds, especially of Netanyahu, pumping his mind up that Israel is bigger and better than what it thinks it is. But these other countries really are not feeling this conflict. Do we have that the list of countries or whatnot?
Oh yeah, here, let me go to that.
And I'll get this while you get that. This is from onudelaFrance.org. All right, it says France is firmly opposed to the Israeli offensive on Rafah. All right, and this is dated back to May 20th of this year. So the world is not, everyone in the world is not with Israel, going to war with Gaza and these refugees.
God, it says, this is just from the Wikipedia. This is just the reaction of different countries from this war. Significant geopolitical divisions emerged during the war. Much of the Western world provided strong and diplomatic and military support to Israel, including the U.S., the U.K., and Germany. However,
hey, notice it didn't mention France, because France is opposed. They're not gonna put that in there. But go ahead.
However, several European nations have been less supportive of Israel's actions, most notably Spain, Norway, and Ireland, who formally recognized the state of Palestine in a coordinated move in June 2024. And it's showing right there, there's a division happening. People are choosing the side with this thing, Can
we read the scripture real quick?
This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Yeah, confederacy is a league, all right, basically an agreement, all right. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Strong's H 1285 Barayat. It says covenant.
It's a covenant. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Alliance, pledge, treaty, alliance, league.
Yeah, it's a bunch of individuals who made a covenant, who made an agreement together.
Yep.
All right, so all these people who made an agreement, NATO is an agreement.
Yep.
Okay, the EU is an agreement. The World Health Organization, all these different alphabet groups. Okay, they're all a confederacy. So America is a part of these confederacies, and guess what? Like the brother said, they're on opposite ends. All right, go ahead.
It says in contrast, the
About
Islamic.
what's that?
Oh, Salakia. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee.
Right. So at one time, everyone was on the same accord. NATO, uh, all these other alphabet gangs, so to speak. But now, not so much. There's this least of the flock. That's that divisive um, event that's separating people. That's ally on ally. This is how you're gonna get all these that bend the boat shoot at her. All right, this is the beginning of that. So the final stages of the destruction of America is being set up right now through these other countries not agreeing with what America and Israel want to do.
They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in them.
Yeah, man, they're gonna lay a wound under thee. All right, which means they're gonna turn on them. They could join the other side. The Russian, China, Iran side. You have these BRICS nations. These BRICS nations are totally opposed to America, NATO, and the EU, and all of them. So, hey, you're gonna have people switching sides. You're gonna have countries changing their stance on how Israel and America are operating.
God, speaking on the BRICS nation, South Africa is in BRICS, and it
South
says here Spain and Ireland have also supported South Africa's genocide case against Israel. So that you see things moving into place.
If anybody know about genocide, South Africa do, because they had apartheid, which is pretty much was modern day slavery almost. They killed a lot of people. So yeah, they they know a war crime when they see it. That's all I want to get on that. Did you have something else you call?
Yeah, I don't. I lost it. So no, I don't. So I was just it was gonna be add more to the list of the I lost it.
Okay.
There's a couple more. Yeah, it says in contrast, the Islamic world and much of the global South denounced the actions of Israel and its allies, criticizing the moral authority of the West and alleging that it holds double standards surrounding human rights. It says Bolivia has cut all ties with Israel as a result of the conflict, and Colombia and Chile recall their ambassadors to the country.
Right, everybody turning their nose up. Don't nobody want to be, friends with you, and you out here, doing hoe shit.
yeah.
You're the bitch ass nigga of the world and expecting your friends to. Matter of fact, there was a meeting. They had one of those meetings, and Benjamin Netanyahu got up to speak, and half the people just walked right out because they don't want to hear nothing from you, bro. You're killing regular people. You're bombing schools and churches, and in hospitals.
And that's a huge statement. That a meeting like that, like majority of people just up and leave. That's a statement, bro.
Yeah, man. Get your shit together. But hey, the Lord don't want their shit together.
Yeah. Anytime you see Netanyahu speak on what's going on, you can see the pride in him and his countenance and how he's speaking. These Israelis have pride in them, and that's how we know that this conflict is going to continue to go down, because you have countries saying that they'll take that they should take a two-party conclusion. Have Israel and Palestine split the state, but Israel ain't gonna go for that.
No,
because of the pride.
Come.
They ain't gonna go for that. It's either we take this whole land or nothing. So
I'll tell you what, Benjamin Netanyahu, he's not gonna go for it, because if he allows this ceasefire to continue, then he's gonna go to jail. He's still gotta go to jail and serve his time for his crime that he committed, his war crimes and bribing people and so on and so forth. But as long as they're at war, he's not going to go to jail. So he has no incentive at all to cool this thing down.
mm-hmm.
He only has incentive to escalate it. And the more this drags on, the more it escalates, the closer we are to prophecy coming past.
Yep.
Yeah, I got anything else?
I just got a precept.
Proverbs
chapter 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. You know, so hey, for these fake J's and for America, for this pride that the Lord has puffed these people up with in their spirit, they're gonna be brought down. You know, hey, you know, that's it.
Hey, well, this is Obadiah 1:4. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
And who does that sound like? Exalting himself as the eagle. Well, who just made the eagle the bald eagle their national bird? America. You know, so as Israel and America, they both are going to be wiped off the face of this planet. And America is going to be cleansed from the face of this earth forever. But Israel is going to be rebuilt. You know,
and it's going to be a mighty work. Because when it said, though I exalt thyself as the eagle, because the eagle, the highest flying bird ever, sees everything.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to be at such a peak and to be brought down, that's going to be a mighty work that the Heavenly Father is going to perform, man.
Kind.
You know? Yep.
Very humbling.
Very kind. Exactly.
So with that being said, Lord's will, you were edified. And we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakadash. We give double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. Shalom.
Shalom.